Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And a special thank you to you, Senator Graham, for spending the afternoon with us, your precious time. And to all of you witnesses for being here, but I especially want to welcome a fellow West Virginian, Michael Irvin of Coal River Coffee Company in St. Albans, which is in my district, for making the trip to Washington and getting an earful of how we do business here. It's entirely different. It's just so good to hear voices of business owners from my home state to discuss the benefits of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and our committee's work to extend the key benefits for hardworking Americans like Mr. Irvin and his employees. You all are what make the country great. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is one of the most important policies passed into law in generations. And thanks to the work of President Trump and the united Republican governance in the House and Senate. To this day, the positive impacts of a simpler tax code are still being felt, and it is telling that Biden and his liberal colleagues in the House and Senate did not repeal any key provision of President Trump's landmark legislation and failed to gain the requisite support within their own party to raise our tax rate or strip small businesses of their fairer treatment that the TCJA did provide. Lowering our corporate tax rate to a globally competitive 21% has been a key driver in drawing investment to our country and allowing our businesses to reinvest in their employees and communities. And I strongly support maintaining this rate. Any increase to pay for industry-specific handouts undermines the core tenet of the TCJA of broadening our tax base and simplifying the tax code. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act was extremely successful at simplifying the code on the individual side as well. In West Virginia, over 97% of filers utilize the increased standard deduction included in the TCJA. This means that more families spend less time worrying about their taxes and have more in their pockets at the end of the day. Families, large employers, and small businesses all benefited from the passage of the TCJA. And in West Virginia, only 98% of our businesses are actually small businesses. The 199A, a small business deduction, allows for pass-through entities to receive a comparable tax rate to larger corporations, allowing small businesses to stay competitive and reinvest in their employees. And I look forward to working with a re-elected President Trump, Chairman Smith, and all my colleagues to extend the essential components of the TCJA and spend the next year hearing from our constituents on how to improve on this essential legislation. Mr. Irvin, can you describe what the impact on Coal River Coffee would be if 199A deduction was not extended?
Absolutely. Let me just start off by saying we've only existed since this has existed. When I started my company, I probably was considered low income. And to answer Ms. Sanchez's question earlier. So yes, I'm qualified to answer and speak to these aspects. And it created an environment for entrepreneurship in a very depressed and economically depressed state. And if we lose that deduction in particular, it will squelch, it'll kill that environment. Not only that, there won't be as much of an incentive to actually start something and take a risk, maybe take a loan and do the things that are necessary to create economy. And that's what we're doing, is creating economy, creating jobs, doing what the American dream is. And just like my friend over here, you know, his father started their journey in this dream. And that's what I'm doing, hopefully, for my children who are sitting in the back of this right now watching this. They can inherit my business someday. And if this deduction is not extended or made permanent, which is what I hope, then me and the other entrepreneurs, business owners, 98% of the businesses in my state might have to close. And that's why I'm here today.
Tell me quickly how you have reinvested in your community.
Yeah, very quickly. We help start organizations. We give money toward our Little League programs in particular. And are these bigger corporations doing that? No, they're not. We give to almost every sporting team that comes to us. And we obviously have our program with the Recovery Network. We help with organizations that integrate folks with disabilities. We employ folks with disabilities and they love being a part of something that is bigger. Because go ahead.
I was just going to say, that is how small town America works. And I do
Exactly.
have to yield back my time. I'm
Sure.
so sorry. And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ramirez, I had questions for you too, but we talked too long. Thank you for being here, all of you.